Being sad can be difficult for absolutely anyone. It can be particularly difficult when you are an optimist and self-aware. And as someone that is both, I have realized that one of the best ways for me to get over or help process and actually process that sadness is by creating, by writing stories and by writing music, by singing, and one of them will be this, talking about it. I don't like talking about my sadness because I don't know how to. I am really good at helping others deal with their sadness and encouraging them to speak about it to me. I'm really good at helping other people process their grief, but I kind of suck when it comes to doing it for myself because, again, I'm self-aware. I'm like, hey, I know I'm sad because of this. Hey, I know I'm sad, so I should do this. And so I do. But then I kind of realized that a lot of the coping mechanisms that I had for dealing with sadness is kind of avoidant. And I never talked about it, and I never addressed it with perhaps someone that made me sad, or I never did anything about the thing that's making me sad. With this self-awareness, I am now going to be talking about it to an imaginary audience because, yeah, at least I'm telling someone. Recently, my cat Yushi died. He was, I think, 7 years old, and he was sick, and he was clearly struggling, clearly in pain, and it was one of the worst experiences ever to behold someone that you love so much and kind of be helpless in it. We were able to bring him to the vet, but it was kind of like, he's gonna die anyway. And I know I'm smiling, but I'm self-aware, and I know that the way that I react to discomfort or uncomfortable situations is by smiling. And it's odd to be in a place where someone, or in my case, my cat, used to be alive and expect them to be there but not have them be there. When you're going through something like this, when you're grieving, you don't want to feel bad, and you don't want to feel sad, or you don't want to feel lonely, and you don't want to feel regret or hurt. And yet I've realized that all my life this is what I've been doing because I'm an optimist. All my life I've been saying, hey, I was able to blah blah blah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with shifting your perspective and looking at the brighter side of things, you know, kind of half glass full, glass half full-ing things, you know. There's nothing wrong with that, but you come to a point when you realize, for me in particular, you need to allow yourself to grieve in order to get better. You need to let yourself feel that sadness because it's going to come back, and it wants to be released, you know? Another thing that I've recently experienced is a rejection from a job that I really wanted. I actually made a video about it. I've made a couple of videos about my rejections to certain jobs that I've had or applied to, but this one really just sucked. Like, it's really hard for me to kind of just let myself say, hey, you're disappointed. Hey, you thought that you would finally get this job that you wanted. Hey, this and that. Because again, I'm self-aware, and I know that what I'm going through is normal, and yet because I know that it's gonna make me feel bad, I want to rush in and I want to run into it. I've also kind of realized that lately the reason why I'm so into writing sad stories, like angsty stories, I mean, I already knew that I wrote angst. I wrote like really like kick to the teeth kind of stories, was because I knew that I shouldn't hurt myself and I should just hurt someone fictional and get it out of my system that way. But then I also realized that the reason why I like writing sad stories is because it's a controlled environment, and I can put it there, and I kind of chase that sad feeling. I cry for other people because it feels safer. It feels nicer than to cry about myself, because it's hard to cry about myself. And I feel like fundamentally sometimes I slip into this kind of thinking that, you know, we're born alone and we die alone. And yet I don't actually believe that, because again, I'm an optimist. And yet sometimes I tell myself, hey, if I feel like this moment, I'll let myself feel it, and I'll let myself cry, and I'll let myself feel bad, and I'll let myself feel crummy. It's just hard. It's hard knowing what you feel and knowing that, hey, I could just be hungry. Hey, I could just almost be on my period. Hey. Sometimes I just wish I could be sad and let myself be sad without processing it, you know? Of course, I had to sneeze and ruin the moment. I'm sure also that there's someone out there that wishes that they were self-aware, that wishes that they knew what was going on with them. And I want to tell you, hey, we're the same. You want to know? I don't want to know. And I feel like you can kind of find comfort in that we're all just a little sad. Yeah, the world is burning, but it's okay. We can hold hands and warm ourselves in the dumpster fire. I'm trying not to end this video by saying like, at least my makeup is good. Just like, be sad, it's okay. You know, sadness is an emotion. It's like happiness. Just because it makes you feel bad doesn't mean it's bad. It's just a human response, you know? It's okay, let yourself feel sad. It's okay.